we won our first match. Ooh, this is good. We won our first match, but I had some minor computer problems and couldn't actually record it. Versus an aggro deck. See how we do. We need to find another good unit to put all of this stuff on. Sucks that we're not on the play. And they have a very good hand, it looks like. Uh-oh. More power. Not exactly what I want. I could put 2 weapons onto it. Hope that it lives, but there's a good chance that there's a torch. There's a torch. Well, I need an Oni Quartermaster or I think we die then. And opponent is waiting on the torch. No, they're not going to torch. I don't know why. It seems very strange not to torch there. Pummel? It wouldn't have been Pummel because it has to be attacking. I guess that's why they held on to torch, because they knew that they had Pummel. Really weird. You just want to maximize your mana when you're aggro like that. Well, unfortunately we're drawing a bunch of sigils, so it looks like we are in a lot of trouble here. I needed to hit like a Copperhall Paladin or a Quartermaster, and then we're okay. If we can hit a Quartermaster, we're in great shape. Or, sorry, Paladin would actually be the best, is what I was thinking. And opponent is thinking. Okay. They figured it out. They need to play their cards. And another sigil. Well, sometimes this happens. I think that this deck is going to have a little bit of that too, because you're going to get hands that have a bunch of spiked helms and things, so that is certainly a problem with the deck. If you can get the right hand, it goes off like crazy. If you don't, well, then you lose real quick. Our opponent's playing really slow. We just want to move on to the next one, so don't think that we had a chance of getting out of that. Close. We just needed a Copperhall Paladin and we'd have been okay. Alright, let's go to game 2. Oh wow, this hand is incredibly awful. Let's redraw. This is a good hand. This hand looks really nice. We've got multiple units, early units, and we can hopefully draw off of them. I've got to be a little bit careful here, like you always do with this deck, in that you don't want to jam all of your units at once into possible torches and things like that, because you don't want to lose Quartermaster before you get any value off of it. I think that I'm just not going to play Quartermaster right now because there's a very decent chance. Well, it doesn't look like they have the torch, but I'm very worried about a torch coming down. Whereas now I can Quartermaster, ooh, and I can protect it. That seems even better. So let's play this and pass. I was going to put an Elder's Feather on it and try and draw right away, but I feel like Protect's even better. If they have a Xenon Initiation, that'll get us. That's one of the reasons why I put in Finest Hour, because everybody seemed to have Xenon Initiation for a little while. Oh, so they did draw a torch. They didn't have it at first. Do they have a second torch? They drew 2 torches in a row? Because there's no way they had it that one turn. It didn't even pause for half a second. That's brutal. Alright, let's go Rise the Challenge. And I think I want the Copperhall Paladin, honestly. Another Quartermaster would be nice. What's the best way to go off here? Maybe it is just Quartermaster. I've got a bunch of weapons that I can just keep drawing with. Not like I don't, if I don't draw a bunch if I get the Copperhall down. And that's the kind of the reason to do it. They're not attacking. It's very strange.
Swords, sharp and true.
Let's protect you from a torch. Looking good. I want to split up where the weapons are so that it doesn't get destroyed here. But I also want to make sure that it's safe from, say, a Obliterate. So let's just make it a little bit bigger. There's our Copperhall Paladin. Nice. And the power to play it. I'm going to... Not much point in attacking here, and I don't want to play any more weapons because I want to start putting them onto Copperhall. I'm just going to pass. As awkward as that is. Power Stone. Opponent was a little bit stuck on power. Now they're getting out of it.
Take up arms.
Let's Elder's Feather. I'm going to keep the Finest Hour open because it's possible that they play an Obliterate here onto this. Don't want it to get destroyed, so I'm going to Finest Hour and possibly save it. Same with if they have like a Zenith Initiation. Oh, wait, what? Praxis Displacer. Well, that will stop me. It does have... Oh, it... Right, they killed the other one. I was like, we had Aegis on one, but... No blocks, I'll take 8. Not happy about this turn of events. Another Copperhall.
Swords.
Quartermaster. Draw 2 cards. Get another power. Nice. 1 shield protects it. No more Obliterate. And we can race because we get a lot of life. We're also going to be able to play more Paladins here, so it's looking pretty solid. Not flying is an issue. Definitely an issue. I can probably just attack through anyways, though. Gonna go all in. They don't have single removal, really. Although they did have the Praxis Displacer, unfortunately. Let's see if they try and block with everything. Pretty happy if they do. They might actually try it. Yeah. Definitely makes the most sense to do that.
Take up arms.
Take up some arms. We'll start spreading out a little bit of equipment across to these. Just enough so that they have extra toughness against these guys. Yep. Double initiation. I see. So they're going to try and fight the 9/9? Ooh. That looks pretty good for us. And we just gained 18 life. Well, actually a lot more than that. Wow, that's bad news for them. Okay, so put Spiked Helm onto one of these maybe? Like I said, spread it out. Although if I make it bigger, they can't even buy it back with the Zenith Initiation to kill it. Protect. Often good, not amazing here. Against the Praxis deck, it's a little bit of a problem just because of the initiations.
Take up arms.
Gonna have to attack around what they have soon. Just be willing to throw away some things. Another Quartermaster would have been amazing here so that we could be drawing like 3 cards every time we're playing Ornate Katanas. They have to try and find the right thing to destroy on this. Let's protect it. Because otherwise it becomes small enough that they can kill it with these. I want that to happen. Artisan's interesting. Making all of our weapons bigger is huge. Let's attack with everything. They block. I don't know that I want Quartermaster to die is the thing. Let's say that I attack with everything else. They block one of these. Take 7, 8. If I attack with this, then they take 11. Kind of like this.
Forged for the throne.
Hopefully we find another Ornate Katana or something so we can start building up a ton of power again. And obviously each of our weapons are starting to get real big with Rakano Artisans pumping them up here. Each Ornate Katana is now +4/+2. This is close though. Having the double Xenon initiation is really scary. No! Silence it. And they can double attack it now. So they can get it. I do get to attack in for a ton of damage though. Ugh, that's really too bad. I'm like one weapon and I think we win. It's so close. We're so close. Drawing another power there is so brutal. We don't have much power left either. We got a lot of them out of the way because of the Copperhall Paladin ability. Attack with everything. They kill the 4/2. Block. They're down to 2. I think it's got to be worth it. Super obviously you've got to kill the Quartermaster. I'd be amazed if they did it the other way. I'd be so happy, but definitely the way that we have to go with it. There's not a lot they can have that stops this. Heart of the Vault is close. Heart of the Vault is very close. If they top a torch, then suddenly they can win the game, but it should kill them. Heart of the Vault is definitely the best card that they could have. Whew! Oh, we did it. I don't... Like, 81 life seems like a lot, but they can kill us from that very, very fast if we just don't have anything, which we were close to running out of. That was a good game. Really close game. Alright, let's go to game 3. There's his pet turtle here. Oh, just one fire. One fire, and we're in such great shape. Do I do it? It's a risky keep. I don't have that many fire sources because you really want to be getting justice off of the Copperhall Paladins. Don't want to run out of justice sigils. Also haven't had much trouble getting fire in the past, but this hand is awkward. I'm going to redraw. It's just too likely to run out of steam. This is much better. This is actually a lot better. The Rise to the Challenge really helps. Hopefully we can draw something else off the Inspire. If we can get a Rakano Artisan, that'd be perfect. Obviously, early Rakano Artisans just make your draws so much better with all these attachments.
Tell me.
Ooh, looks like a Chalice deck. And we drew the Quartermaster, which is perfect. Sigil, that's fine. Again, I might wait on the Quartermaster because they're going to have a lot of silence effects. I want to get some value out of it. I got to be aggressive against their deck, though, because otherwise they're going to just have too much gas for me to get over.
Swords.
I think I'll play it right now. Oh, no. They paused. They didn't play anything. Interesting. That seems like they would have had a Desert Marshal then, with that pause.
Which would you like?
Marison's Disciples. This is a bit of an older style list for that. Let's go shield and draw. I don't know that I want to put an Ornate Katana on it. I really want to try and find a Copperhall Paladin, and I can with the Rise to the Challenge. Does draw me 2 cards. Don't know that I can really attack in. I'm worried about putting too much onto one thing here, because it really felt like they had the Desert Marshal. Alright, I'm gonna Katana, because I do want to draw 2 cards. Please not 2 power? Alright, good. Copperhall Paladin is a decent hit. I actually don't want to attack. I don't really want to trade for their team. And I don't trade for everything. I don't want to lose the Quartermaster. We can let them attack in with the Flyer first. Plus, now we have the finest hour to save it. Desert Marshal? Eileen's choice. Right. Probably could have thought of that
Want to
one.
make my allies your enemies.
That's my B. Let's play the Copperhall Paladin just to stop any shenanigans here. I'd love to get the Artisan down. Like I said, make all of our weapons better, but just too sketchy. Do they have another one? They have another Eileen's Choice. I mean, unfortunately, the odds are fairly high. Thankfully, we have a Rise to the Challenge, so we can just keep finding them. Or a Scorpion Wasp. Okay. This is a weird list right now.
Forged for the throne.
Like, it's reminding me of an older list. Let's get... Do you want Copperhall or Quartermaster? Kind of feel like I want Quartermaster first to draw a bunch. It's always such a 50-50 shot on that one. Because Copperhall Paladin does draw cards out of your deck. They're just not really the cards that you want. It does help thin your list a little bit, so you're more likely to draw other good things. And it is obviously more of a threat. The life gain is really nice. And it just beats down for a little bit more damage. Protects itself a little bit better by having higher toughness, things like that. Worn Shield. Alright.
Swords, sharp and true.
Let's start drawing some cards. And it's a Justice Sigil. Give me something better. Navani. Navani is a thing. Pass the turn. Don't silence it. Please don't silence it. Okay. Like every turn, just please don't have Desert Marshal. Please don't have Desert Marshal. Ornate Katana is kind of sweet. They just conceded. But why did they concede? I was just about to do fun things. Wow. I guess that they were just thinking that they couldn't beat that? I don't know. That is a very strange one. Well, round 4, I guess. Winner, winner me, for some reason. Huh. Yeah, I mean, with double Inspire, I think that I have to keep this. We've got some early interaction in Torch, and we just have to hope that we draw what we need. If we draw a bunch of Worn Shields, well, we're in trouble. If we draw a Quartermaster, hey, probably good. So opponent definitely has Torch. Ooh, Rise to the Challenge. That'll help us. Need another power to play it, but it does kind of give us a little bit of insurance that we're going to have gas at some point. Oh, double Vanquish was real bad for our draws. Especially against what it looks like we're playing against. Yep. Okay, Rise is fine now. Let's Rise, and I'm going to go for the Paladin. We don't have any weapons yet. It dodges Torch. I can play a single equipment on it. Yeah, I was going to say, dodges Torch, dodges Sword. If we get anything on it, like, for example, a Worn Shield, then it dodges the Auric Rune Hammer. I'm just going to Torch this. I really want to have another power card first so that I can, like, Worn Shield or Finest Hour onto it. Protect, maybe. Yeah, I'm just going to wait. I know that seems weird, but I really, really want to have some kind of protection. Against Armory, we definitely need something.
Is what was.
Gonna have removal. I'm gonna Navani because it's actually more expendable than the Copperhall. There's the Auric Rune Hammer. I knew it was gonna happen. This is why I wanted to have Finest Hour up. That's why I was looking for it. Just needed a undepleted power. Well, that was one of the 3 undepleted power left in our deck. so bad. That's really unfortunate. But what do you do? There was only 3 cards that were power that we could draw that would be bad there. Drew one of them. Only 2 left now, so I guess that's kind of good. Waiting on our opponent. I'm imagining that they have a torch and just are forgetting that they need to keep passing. Rise the challenge, sure. We're in a ton of trouble. Vanquish is so bad against them, and this is one of the... Theirs is one of the main reasons why I've wanted to switch out some of the Vanquishes for torches. Armory is just so awful because of that. And we're gonna pass. I can hold up Finest Hour or Protect. This is an issue. I'm not sure how I get past Steward. I do have the Elder's Feathers, so I can maybe fly over it, but it is a nasty wall. Dodging Vanquish is a big thing for it. If it was 4-4, it would actually be a lot easier. Good news. Torch it? Yeah, that's the problem. I kind of knew that they had the torch, but I had to try and assume that they didn't, because there's nothing else for me to do. No other way for me to win. If I'd Warren Shielded instead, then I guess they would still be alive, but... Or, would it? No, it still wouldn't have lived. Would have exactly died anyways. Yeah, the Armory matchup is hard. And I mean, this draw, the double Vanquish is just the absolute worst against them. Could not possibly get a worse couple cards there. We have 2 Vanquishes left, and it's the worst card against our opponent. We drew it twice. We drew both of them. Not the best. Alright. Oh. Cannot win. It was a good try. Learned a few lessons. I maybe should have... I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what I could have done there. It is tough against Armory. I've got to think of some way to deal with it. Steward of the Past is nasty, and yeah, I just... Vanquish is so bad there. Maybe I just take out all the Vanquishes. It's certainly possible. So that's something to look at. If you're having a lot of trouble against Armory, maybe take out more Vanquishes, put in more Torches, because you can at least torch some of the weapons, but it is a tough one. Alright. Finals. Here we go. This is one of the most exciting hands that I've had. I mean, we need a lot of power, but we have Inspire and we have double Artisan. Double Artisan makes every draw of a weapon so insane. And if we can actually get some Quartermasters down, it's unbelievable. It's too bad that we haven't had like a really good go-off game yet, because I've had a couple where I've managed to get 3 Quartermasters, and then you just start chaining together Spiked Helms and drawing like 4 or 5 cards a turn, and it's unbelievable. Doesn't happen often, but it's certainly fun when it does. Alright. Forge some stuff for our throne. That power card was a great draw. Sabotage. The card is really, really, really bad on ladder, but a lot of people will play it because they see it played in things like ETS. It's hilariously awful. It's decent against us, but really, if you want to up your win percentages, stop playing Sabotage. The card's terrible. It has to be good against everybody, or it's just not doing anything. Like, the problem is that you have to have it at the right time, and you have to have it against the right deck. Against our deck, it happens to be good, but there's a lot of decks where it's just terrible, and there's no real way to know when you're playing ladder which one you're going to end up against. In ETS, it makes sense because you've got more of a metagame, and you've got sideboarding and things like that. Against ladder, it's so bad. It's just incredibly laughable. So it always feels bad to lose to Sabotage, but, you know, it'll happen. No Runehammer for you. And this is why I shouldn't attack so fast. Whoops. Might be able to protect this from removal. Stop a Runehammer from killing it. It's dicey because it does put all of our eggs into one basket. If they have a Death Strike instead, or a Vanquish, then we lose our better creature, which is too bad. Rise to the Challenge was a good draw. Now we're racing. Cool. Spiked Helm. I kind of want to hold on to the Spiked Helm until we have another Quartermaster or Paladin. Feel like Quartermaster, honestly.
Halt!
Sure, that's fine. Of course. I held on to it and they top decked the Sabotage. It's such a feels bad. Because the card's so bad, but... And it'll happen. I know that I'm complaining, but it's just such a bad card 90% of the time, but it happens to be good against us. The big problem is if you end up against, like, say, an aggro deck or something, it's just totally dead. So you're going to lower your win percentages a lot by playing it, but... Against certain decks, it'll be good. And that's why it looks good, is because you end up... I have this conversation all the time. I'm sure that anybody familiar with my work knows about this, but the problem is that it'll look insane in these kinds of matchups, so you're going to think that the card is actually good, but you're going to forget about the times when it's dead, and it needs to be good against, like, 70% of the field to actually be playable, because it's so bad when it's bad. Block with Tavrod, please. I'm like, long shot they do, but... This is a tough one. It's funny that Sabotage actually wrecked us. If I'd put a Helm onto something else, we might have had a chance here. Please, no double hit. Double hit. Right? Yup. Oh, bad. It's so bad. Oh, that hurts. That's not good for us at all. I have to stop the Tavrod. Ouch. No.
My favorite part.
Yeah, that's a game. Sabotage got us. But... like I was saying, there's going to be people that'll argue against me that's like, well, but Sabotage was awesome here. See, like, look at how good it was. Yes, but it has to be, like, playable against the field. And most decks aren't actually that vulnerable to Sabotage. It'll hit some things, but in general, it's pretty awkward. Generally not the card that you want to see most of the time. And so because of that, it ends up just being bad more often than not. And that's really what you're looking for, is like, is this card generally going to be bad against my opponent? And the answer with it is yes. We're dead here. I'm just attacking with both. It doesn't really matter. No matter what I do, I actually just lose. I can't live for a turn, so. Like, trading with this helps, but... really, they blocked both. That's actually... I'm surprised. That kind of gives me an open, I think. I'm going to keep playing. But you've got to realize just how many times Sabotage is dead or doesn't do a lot, right? The big thing is that it doesn't do a lot most of the time. Not that it's entirely dead, but sabotaging for, like, Inspire. Like, the times that you're going to Sabotage and hit a Seek Power, or the times that you're going to draw it later in the game where it doesn't hit anything, are going to outnumber the times when you end up hitting your opponent's Spiked Helm and they're playing a weird Bladestorm deck and it actually destroys them. Most of the time, it's not going to be very good at all. And so generally, you're going to lower your win percentages by playing it. It is a super feel bad when it hits you hard, though, because sometimes it'll just hate your deck out. And that's why it's annoying to me, because of the fact that it's something that people generally shouldn't run on ladder because it's bad against most of the field, but I tend to play decks that it's really weak to, so I end up getting wrecked by Sabotage more often than most people. In any case, that was a lot of fun. This is an interesting deck. Unfortunately, I wish I could have recorded that first game because we had some really awesome stuff happen, but Eternal crashed a couple times and it didn't really work out, so a lot of fun anyways. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck tech and the matches. It's a really fun deck. It does decent. I would think about changing maybe like Navani Navani for a couple of like Oni Ronins maybe, get a couple more units in. Also just like earlier units might be good. So something like that could be okay. I'm not sure what would be really awesome to hold a weapon early on. Like the problem with the Oni Ronin is it does die to things like torches really quickly. If there was some creature that had enough toughness to live, that would be nice, but tough to actually get that to work out. The finest hours are interesting. If you've seen a lot of Xenon initiations, then it's really good, because the big problem was that it just straight loses the praxis. The protect doesn't stop the initiations, and that's, you're good against praxis besides that. Like if they don't have an initiation, you probably win. But if they have initiation, there's almost nothing you can do about it, and they just get you real fast. If they can get an initiation early, they kill a Copperhall Paladin, and you're just done. But yeah, I don't know. The finest hour is an interesting pick. Could certainly be a cut. I would look at like finest hours in Navani if you want to just adjust some numbers here a little bit. Maybe the Vanquish as well. Vanquish has been, it's not done what I wanted it to. There's sometimes where it's super important against, say, like Sandstorm Titan, and you have like Elder's Feather on something, you really just need to get it through against Praxis. But I think that your matchup against Praxis actually isn't bad already. You're already doing pretty decent against Praxis, so you might be able to cut some Vanquishes, put in more Torches. Just try and focus on the earlier game, try and be more aggressive than it already is. So that's certainly an option. So if I'm going to make changes, I might cut Vanquish, put in some more Torches. I might look at like adjusting Navani down and putting in some Oni Ronins, same with Finest Hour. But yeah, the deck is certainly fun. I think that it's close to being playable. If there's one more like Rakano Artisan, Oni Quartermaster, Copperhall Paladin kind of effect that works off of weapons inside of the Rakano shell, I think that this can be a real threat. So look in the future when there's new sets coming out and see if you can see any cards that are like that, like especially ones that draw cards off of weapons, and this might become a viable shell. I think that this would actually be really close to viable with just one more unit that gets an effect for having weapons. In any case, thanks everybody for stopping by, and as always, you can check out all of my content on Twitch and on this YouTube channel, and of course on newmockgaming.com. So if you give me a follow and like, that'd be absolutely fantastic, and I will see you guys for another Deck Tech next week.